Hey there, White Sox fans. I hope everybody is having a nice Friday. First game action after the All-Star break, and there's a lot to catch up on. But first things first, let's go into looking at the week ahead. And this is the place where you make your picks. Due to how the All-Star game kind of messed with the schedule a little bit, we are looking at about a week and a half of action right now. The first and only time that we will see 3 series as part of your picks. So we start with today's game. We hopefully get some much needed revenge against those damn crash can beating Houston Astros. 3-game homestand starting tonight at 7 o'clock, rock and roll night. And then we have the Twins for 4 games, a day off, and then we go to Milwaukee for 3 games. So that takes us from July 16 through July 25th. And yes, since we are looking at more games than usual, we are going to not just do the top 2 offensive players, but the top 3 finishers. And because of that, the points will be bigger too. So it will be 12 points for first place, 9 points for second place, 5 points for third place. Just for playing, you get 2 points. And because we do have a lot of home games, there is a chance that we might see some walk-off hits again. In the past, we've done 1 extra point if your pick was the one that made the walk-off happen. This week, we will do 3 points, 3 extra points if you end up scoring a walk-off. I am so close to being done with that leaderboard update. I was hoping to get it up today, but I didn't want to delay this video any longer than it already is. I wanted to give you guys time to make your picks. That video is well on its way. It will come out this weekend for sure. I'll probably finish it today, but then give it a little extra breathing room. Also, during the break, I was able to get more videos shot, which was really great. So there will be more content coming up outside of just the Picks to Click videos that were recorded over the All-Star break that will be coming out over the next week and a half. Now, sadly, as I'm writing this, the White Sox have not made any updates on any roster moves. I would imagine that there could be some shifts coming and going, players coming off the injured list, people being sent up or sent down. Right now, as I'm recording this, it is not known. So take a look in the comments. I tend to post an update and I pin it to the top if there's an update. So be as aware as possible when you are making your comments. I know a few weeks ago, a couple of you picked Adam Eaton at a time when he was already on the injured list. You picked him while he was already on the injured list. I want to touch on a little bit of White Sox news, as there's some good news to share finally. It seems like that doesn't happen very often lately, other than the fact that we are doing so well overall. White Sox are 8 games up in the American League Central, looking strong, which is so great because we do have a tough schedule ahead. Obviously, as you know, we're playing Houston this week, but August has some big challenges for us, so it's nice to get a big lead right now, and we'll see what happens with Cleveland. Will they add on to their team? Knowing them, probably not, although they really need to get some pitching depth, but will they actually pull the trigger and make that happen? I don't know. Will they go the other way? Will they start to sell off and just hand the White Sox the division? I'd be okay with it. Obviously, since we last spoke, Adam Eaton was designated for assignment. He is no longer a White Sox, and in fact, he is a member of the California, Anaheim, Los Angeles Angels. I think Adam Eaton did pretty well with the White Sox. He definitely fell short of my expectations, or my hopes, I should say. One thing you can never say about Adam Eaton is that he phoned it in. He's a guy that played hard every single day, and I think because of that, he ended up playing with a lot of nagging injuries. We can't forget that as the White Sox go on to this championship season, he was the guy that hit the first home run for the White Sox this season. He had a really Adam Eaton-esque fantastic play in the last 1 or 2 games he played in a White Sox uniform, a jumping catch at the wall to throw in for a double play. I have no idea at all how he fit in on the clubhouse. We know that there were issues the first time he was with the White Sox where he butted heads with some players. We never heard anything like that this year, and so I hope that wasn't the case. The emergence of Billy Hamilton, the career renaissance of Billy Hamilton and Brian Goodwin is what made this possible. So Adam Eaton being DFA'd and then picked up by Anaheim will save the White Sox about $300,000 this year. Will he make it the entire season with Anaheim? I kind of doubt it. He might just be a placeholder until Mike Trout comes back, and then he'll get DFA'd again. We shall see. Whatever the case, the White Sox will still probably be on the hook for the $2.5 million buyout of his option year next year. So yeah, a rare misfire by Rick Hahn. Overall, Rick Hahn has really put together an amazing team. Obviously, many years in the making. We had to suffer through some rough losing years, but we are finally here at the promised land. If the White Sox made one move, where would you most want to see an improvement? I know there's talk about maybe a bullpen upgrade. For some reason, sports writers keep talking about how the White Sox need to do some outfield upgrades. I am strongly opposed to that. If something happened, I'd be open to it, but that's not a place of focus, in my opinion. And of course, second base. The White Sox have a pretty decent bullpen. Yes, there are some guys that are having off years for them. But really, overall, still a very good bullpen. Hopefully, Evan Marshall and Aaron Bummer come back healthy soon. That, of course, will help a lot. The one thing about bullpen upgrades is you can never have enough. It's quite fair, and they hopefully wouldn't cost too much. And I'm not talking about going out and getting Craig Kimbrell. I know some people want that, and he is having maybe the best year of his life, but I think he would cost a lot. If we get anybody, I hope it would be a Matt Thornton-esque player, an eighth inning bridge type player. However, you could argue that we definitely already have that in the man of Michael Kopech. I do think Garrett Crochet has been improving. He had that really weird stretch where he lost his command, but we know he's got the raw talent, and hopefully a couple of days off have really helped him just relax, recover, and be ready to go for the second half of the season. My pick, without question, is still second base. We have gotten really nice production out of Leury Garcia, and I would still be really happy with Jake Berger and Yoan Moncada finding a way to split time between third base and second base. So the question to you is, what aspect of the White Sox roster would you like to see addressed before the trade deadline? And I'm actually going to make this a Twitter poll as well. You can leave your comments here. You can head over to my Twitter. I'll post a link in the description. On to the biggest, bestest good news. We got word just yesterday that Luis Robert is in Arizona, resuming baseball activities lightly, easing his way back in. And the other wordage that was used was that he is not too far behind Eloy as far as his recovery goes, which is amazing. I was not expecting to hear that. I was trying to relax my expectations and hopes a little bit, and the hope for me was just that we would see him in September sometime, hopefully give him a week or two of work before the playoffs began. Now it seems very likely he'll be back at some point in August. Eloy played a couple of games in single A and was really quickly moved up to triple A. The big question for me was he DHing in the minor leagues or was he playing the field? And he's been doing kind of 50-50. In single A, he played one game in the field, in left field, and one game at DH. And so far in triple A, he has played 2 games in left field and just 1 game at DH. I would really, especially because he's still recovering from injury, I would really hope that Eloy ends up playing the rest of the season as the DH. But how is he doing? He's batting .333 with an on-base plus slugging of .900. He has 6 hits, 5 of which are singles, and 1 was a home run. Another big leaguer currently enjoying his time in the minor leagues, although, I mean, he's probably not enjoying it that much because he'd rather be in Chicago, is the Yerminator. Yermin Mercedes has been just crushing the ball in AAA, as expected. The timing of Yermin's demotion was rough because I think it came out of necessity. It had to do with positional needs with the team, but Yermin was, I believe, starting to hit his way out of his slump, and he did slump for a prolonged amount of time. So by all means, he was having a rough go of it for about a month there. But so far in AAA, he's batting .308 with an on-base plus slugging of .976. The last time he had an on-base plus slugging that high, first off, never. His previous career high in the minor leagues was .974, and that was in single A. So far, Yermin has 12 hits, of which 5 are doubles and 2 are home runs. And if you go to the Charlotte Knights website right now, you'll see on the homepage Yermin hitting a 468-foot blast. An absolute bomb. And for those of you who were wondering, as I am, where he's playing, he's only had 2 starts at designated hitter. He's played first base 1 time, and he has caught 7 of the games. So with the need for catching depth that the White Sox have, with Grandal going down with an injury for probably the next month, I would love to see Yermin back up with the team and playing catcher. Would he start over Collins? At this point, probably not. Collins is just kind of in the groove a little bit more. But it's also really possible that, yeah, he and Collins maybe would split time at the catching position. I can't begin to make a prediction about if he's going to be called back when. I was hoping that he would be back after the All-Star game. It looks like he's hitting well enough that he's deserved it, but we haven't gotten any information yet. Speaking of the catching position, the White Sox did pick up some catching depth with a trade yesterday for former Tampa Bay and former a lot of other teams catcher Devi Grullon, Grullon. Honestly, never heard of him, but yes, he's played for the Red Sox, Rays, Reds, and Mets. Really getting very, very little Major League playing time. I don't know what the plans are right now. This trade hasn't even been announced on the White Sox site. So yes, when I say that Yermin was coming out of a slump, in my opinion, right as they sent him down, in the last 4 games he played, he had 4 hits, 1 of which was a double. He had 0 strikeouts, walked twice, drove in 3 runs, and scored 4. So yes, that is a small sample size, but it seemed like he was trending the right direction, especially when you see no strikeouts and 2 walks. So he was definitely seeing the ball better, and of course he was actually getting hits. He was not hitting home runs in those 4 games, but 4 hits, 3 singles and 1 double. It's a good start. It's kind of too bad he was sent down. I would have liked to see, was he going to continue pulling himself out of it. So all of that said, I still have not made my pick for the week, and I think it's been a long time since I picked Yoan Moncada. He's had a week off to rest and recover. We know he got banged up here or there. He kept falling balls off of his feet and knees and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that a week of rest has allowed him to be refreshed, energized, ready to go. And really Jose Abreu as well. With everybody having a week off, I think just about everybody is an interesting pick. Goodwin has continued to impress. Vaughn is continuing to show his growth. He did not come out of the gate as a world beater, but he has improved as the season has gone on. So he's a good pick as well. But I'm going to stick with Yoan Moncada. And definitely keep your eye towards the comments, keep your eye towards the news for the next couple of hours before we see, does anybody get sent up or sent down, anybody activated from the injured list or not. And of course, just let me know in the comments what aspect of the roster you hope Rick Hahn addresses before the trade deadline. Looking forward to a fun week of baseball in Chicago and in Milwaukee. Until I see you next, play ball and go Sox.